This video's comment award goes to Toby Creates. Leave a comment down below to have a chance for a shout out in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed. Oh hey, I'm glad you decided to click on this video, and I hope that you'll stay for a while. I'm guessing that you're watching this video because you want to learn how to make a Betta fish tank, and fortunately you can, because you have free will. Anyways, the first thing you want to do is find a tank that looks something like this. Now, find the center of the surface you want to put the tank on, and make sure to place it down carefully. Now, this next step is very important, and often missed out on by first-time fish keepers. After checking that the tank is indeed centered, you want to take your dominant hand and slap it the fuck away. Parents, fish tanks like this are too small for betta fish, and this thing is neon blue. This color is hardly ever found in nature, maybe only in certain dart frogs. Go ahead and pick this tank if you want your kids to be imbeciles when they grow up. Now, go ahead and smash that like button as hard as I'm smashing this incompetent trash bin. And subscribe if you are enjoying my sarcastic commentary. So, what you really want is a fish tank that looks like this. At least a 5-gallon so your fish has room to swim. Also, real fish tanks have curves. Next, you'll want to get some pink colored gravel. You can find this at any pet store with owners that could care less about self-respect. You'll want to carefully cut open a hole and hold the bag at an angle so that we can efficiently pour it out into the tank. Don't worry about pre-washing. Now what you want to do is carefully hold it over the tank and then pour it straight into your closest garbage bin. Don't get me wrong, many people use pink gravel and they're all good people. They just deserve to die. What you really want to look for is something more natural. Don't worry, I will not rush you into the world of planted tanks as that can get very complicated very quick. Seeing how this is a Betta tank setup video, let's ease you into the aquascaping hobby one step at a time. For this scape, I have chosen a light colored substrate. Feel free to choose whichever neutral and natural color you want. It also does not have to be sand. I just like to be reminded of being in Hawaii when in reality I'm trapped in the 9-to-5 grind, like a prisoner. If you are using sand, do not rinse it as dry sand is way easier to work with than wet sand. If you are using a light colored substrate, make sure to tone down the lighting and cap it at 6 to 8 hours a day. Lighter substrate can grow algae fast. You don't want that. I usually like to create a slope with the substrate to make it more interesting to look at and create dimension. This brush is part of a cheap $12 aquascaping set, and I suggest you grab it off Amazon if you are planning to do any kind of aquascaping. Of course, you can create the slope with your fingers as well, but let's face it, that's just not as cool. Next up is the Hardscape. I have chosen to use Seiryu stone because I also have free will. If it's your first time aquascaping, these are gonna make your tank look great. I will also be using manzanita wood later on. Other beginner-friendly hardscaping options include the very popular Oko stone and a variety of aquarium-safe hardwoods. Place the stones in a way that is pleasing to you, or just copy what I'm doing. Don't worry, I won't tell your friends that you're a copycat. Wow, look at you, you're doing great, is what I would say if you were actually following along. Quit playing with my feelings. If you're like me and you also live in the abominable tundra known as Canada, you're going to want a heater in this tank for your Betta. This will keep your Betta alive. I'm going to hide the heater behind the hardscape, like I hide my feelings from my family. And remember, wood is good. Now you say it. Nice! Next, we'll add a filter. This will also keep your Betta alive. If you don't feel like getting scammed by the cutthroat filter industry, check out my video on how to avoid this. To fill up our tank, we'll use saran wrap. To guard our substrate from being stirred up, make sure your water is dechlorinated. Although we're not going for a planted tank this time, feel free to add some natural embellishments. I have a few Anubias nana cuttings lying around, so I will wedge them within the hardscape. Since this tank has no lid and Betta are very strong jumpers, I highly suggest capping the surface with some simple floater plants. You can use duckweed, salvinia, frogbit, water sprite, guppy grass, hornwort, elodia, and many more. Floater plants will also prevent algae and suck up toxins produced by the fish poop. Last but not least, we add the light. This is a simple $15 LED light I found on Amazon and it works perfectly. Make sure you hook it up to a timer, you'll thank me later. Alright, now, we can add the fish, right? Yeah, sure, if you want to go to hell. The tank has not been cycled yet. It's basically the nitrogen cycle that you learned in grade 11 if you weren't too busy trying to get Stacy's attention. Stacy, if you're watching this, please just give me another chance. I'm still not over you. To properly start the cycling process, either dose the tank with some beneficial bacteria, drop in some fish food, or in my case, use existing fish tank water to kickstart the cycle. Now you wait. I recommend waiting a full week before adding the fish, so see you in 7 days. So it's been 7 days for me, and 1 second for you. Call me David Copperfield. Also, I know that there's nothing I can say to stop you from waiting only 1 day and saying, f it, I can't wait anymore, and dropping the fish in. But at least acclimate the fish by floating the bag or container and gradually introduce some of the tank water. Finally, it's time for your new best friend to discover and enjoy the marvelous new home that you created for them. I'm so proud of you that I could cry if I had feelings. Anyways, it's time to take some nice shots and pictures of your Betta, maybe start an Instagram or YouTube channel. Seriously, Betta are amazing pets and I hope you enjoy your time together. See you in the next one.